In this video I'm gonna talk about 8 common beginner mistakes in insect photography. My name is Micael Widell and I've been teaching insect and macro photography on YouTube for the past 8 years. Mistake number 1. Ugly surface. This is a very simple one, but a lot of beginners do it. They find a nice insect and they want to take a nice photo, but the photo still looks very bad and messy and ugly, and it's all due to the surface. The surface is just not looking good. One thing you can do is to approach the insect from the side instead, so that you get a nice even blurred out background. Or if it sits on an ugly surface, at least try to blur out the surface by using shallow depth of field. Mistake number 2. Auto white balance. Auto white balance is usually a good thing in most types of photography, but in macro photography the camera usually has a really hard time to set the white balance right, and your images will look too yellow or too blue. As in this example here, for example, this image is a bit off, right? But when we adjust the white balance it looks a lot better because it wasn't set right from the beginning. In my camera, I never use auto white balance for macro photography. You can use daylight, or even better, go into the settings and set manually a value of 5500 Kelvin, which is daylight and which is the same as your flash. If the white balance is still off, you can always adjust it in Lightroom, but my point here is that the white balance can either break or make your macro photo. Mistake number 3. Not using a flash. When you are a beginner in macro photography, you tend not to use a flash, and you quickly discover that you have to use a very wide aperture like f2.8 to get enough light, or you need to use a very high ISO, and this in turn makes the depth of field minuscule. But this invariably makes your photos look like crap, and it's not a good idea. You have to use a flash to get good results in insect macro photography. Results like this one. You get more depth of field, more detail, you can use ISO 100. Mistake number 4. No diffuser. So you did get a flash, but your photos still don't look that good. They look like this. You have good light, but the light is ugly. The shadows are harsh, the highlights are harsh, the colors are boring, it just doesn't look good. And that is because you're not using a diffuser. You can get very cheap diffusers, or if you want the very best one, you can get the AK diffuser, which is my favorite. And with a diffuser, the light gets soft and nice from the flash, and you get photos that look like this. And at least if you ask me, I think this is 100 times more beautiful than if you're not using a diffuser. Mistake number 5, which is a very common one. Sun on subject, which basically means that you're shooting insects, maybe even with a flash and a diffuser, but you let the sun shine directly on your insect, and the results look like this. Very harsh highlights and shadows, and also this glare in the insect eyes that you cannot remove by any means. It just looks really bad with this glare in the eyes. But if you instead just block the sun by standing in front of it and generating a shadow with your body, or even better, just go out on a cloudy day to do your insect macro photography, then you will see a big difference. Compare this photo with this one, same fly, only difference is the shade. 99% of my good macro photos, my keepers, photos that I'm happy with, like these ones, are taken with only light from my flash and diffuser and no direct sunlight on the subject. Another really common mistake, lazy angles. When we're out as beginners trying to capture insect photos, we're happy just to find an insect and to get it in focus. That's hard enough. And then we always end up with photos looking like this, We just shoot the insects from whatever angle we are able to, but it never makes for very interesting or beautiful photos. Practice getting photos from the side or from the front like this one. It makes it all the more interesting and beautiful. Try to even get a nice background, or maybe just approach very closely and get it from above. Always mind what angle you're shooting the insects from. It makes a big difference in how your photos will look. Mistake number 7. Not getting educated. What if I told you that everything you need to know about macro photography that is really worth knowing you can learn in about 3 or 4 hours? For example, by buying and reading my macro photography ebook that I'm selling in my shop. You can read this book in only like 3 or 4 hours and learn everything I know about insect and macro photography. Then you of course need to spend quite a lot of hours practicing that knowledge and internalizing it. But most people never even get to the point of just studying macro photography. You can be the exception. Go to my shop and pick up my 2 macro photography ebooks right now. And the last and also very common mistake beginners make in insect photography is shooting at only 1x magnification. You get photos that look like this, not very interesting if you're looking to take insect portraits. The reason most people shoot at 1x magnification is that most macro lenses that are sold right now only go to 1x magnification, but you can easily just get a Raynox filter and get much more magnification. Just buy that for $70 and put on your lens, or even better, buy a lens from, for example, Laowa that goes to 2x magnification from the beginning. You will get photos that look like this, you will get a lot closer, and it will be so much more fun to do insect photography.